Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me on a Friday. I am so excited that you've joined me today. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and anything you see in this video you can purchase in my online store. Link is in the down bar below. I have one of my favourite projects I think I've ever made for you today. I absolutely love this. I'm rather proud of myself. Probably for no reason whatsoever. Before I get into what we're going to make with this fabulous stitched all around bundle, save 10% by buying the stamps and the dies together, I do want to just let you know that we've got some fantastic offers happening throughout August. There is a fabulous Christmas bundle to get you your Christmas card making kick-started, and every £45 you get a voucher to spend in September with bonus days. I will have explained all of that on my blog. I will make sure that my blog post, which is down there, get links to those posts. But I just don't want you to miss out because these are awesome, awesome offers. The exclusive bundle is a fabulous stamp and die bundle, but it's also exclusive in August. It will retire. The second it sells out, it's retiring. So it's really, really limited time, because if we sell out quickly, it will have gone and it won't be coming back. So if you want that, do grab it quickly. Right, housekeeping out of the way, shall we see what we're going to make today? So I actually haven't made what we're going to make. I have made part of it, but not all of it. I have designed it. I'm not showing you my prototype because it's a mess. I have made a note card and tag set. And today we're going to make the box to put these fabulous things in. So I am a bit obsessed with the Stitched All Around bundle and the Petal Promenade Designer Series papers. They are stunningly beautiful. And so what I have done is I've created 4 fun tags, so 2 of each of 2 designs. How cool is that sentiment? Love that. That one is just simply stamped in Mossy Meadow ink, and there's a piece of Designer Series paper. These 2 are a little bit more complicated in the fact we've got some Designer Series paper and then some vellum, this beautiful die cut in Mossy Meadow cardstock, and then I've stamped in Whisper White ink. I hope you can see that. It's so pretty, really soft, and for all this is very vanilla. I think the white stamping actually quite works. Then there are 4, let me grab them, note cards. Again, 2 of each of 2 designs, so these 2. How stunning is this die cut piece? It's just beautiful. Again, piece of Designer Series paper, layer of vellum, die cut stamping. Really quick and simple, but really, really pretty cards. And then these 2 as well, exactly the same, stamped. Actually that's tone on tone stamping, so that is Petal Pink ink on Petal Pink cardstock. Onto, these are the Stampin' Up Very Vanilla note cards, and then we've got the envelopes to match. And what I have done is 2 of them I have just popped some Designer Series paper on, and 2 of them I've left plain. This is a really easy thing to do. All you have to do is stick a piece of Designer Series paper on and then cut round this shape. And I'm not a fussy cutting expert, but even I can do it. You know, it's not too complicated. Not quite a straight edge, but it's easy enough to do. So I need a box to put them in, and the box we're going to make basically holds the note cards. You guys remember how my camera plays funny buggers? Well, it's decided to do it again today, so let's see how far we get into filming without, you know, me having to stop, and I have no idea where I got to. So we've got... Okay, so we're going to make a box to put our note cards, envelopes and tags in today, and I'm going to use, once again, the Stitched All Around bundle and the Petal Promenade Designer Series papers. I will get that right. And we've got a little bit of stamping, but let's get on with making this box first. So, I'm going to move all these things out of the way, clear myself some space. I have already gone ahead and cut my cardstock and Designer Series paper. So I've got some very thick, very vanilla cardstock and my Petal Promenade Designer Series paper. You can see how beautiful it is there. I've not cut it into small pieces. So you've got each piece of this paper is a beautiful floral on one side, and then the other is a kind of, this is kind of, I think it's supposed to be bokeh or something. It's so pretty. And then some of them have got marble effects on them. They're really gorgeous. So let's do our scoring first. I've got my Simply Scored, and we're going to do the base of our box first. So this piece of cardstock measures, and I haven't got metric measurements because I'm very special. The problem with the note cards and envelopes is that they are in imperial sizes, because they're the same note cards and envelopes that Stampin' Up sell around the world. So because of that, I've kind of stuck with imperial measurements. If I get a chance, I'll put the metric ones over on my blog, so the link to that will be in the down bar below. So imperial measurements are we have a piece of cardstock that measures 9.5 by 4.5 inches, and we're going to score at 3 3/4, 4 1/2. I'm sorry, I'll show you my notebook. I've worked this out, but I don't quite know. Something's gone on. 8 1/4 and 9 inches. And then we're going to score on the short side at 3/4. Something always happens to my workings out. It always goes a little bit pear-shaped. Then we need a smaller piece of Very Vanilla, and it measures 4 1/4 by 3.5, and we're going to score on the long side at 1/2 and 1 and 3 1/4 and 3 3/4, and then on the short side at 1/2 and at 1. And then the Designer Series paper, which measures 8 13/16 by 5 inches and 13/16. I'm going to score that on the long side at 2 1/2 and 6 1/4, and then on the short side at 2 1/2 and 3 1/4, like so. Okay, so you've got our base, our lid, and then this is a pocket for those tags. So let's score, fold and burnish on all those score lines that we've just created. So like I was saying at the beginning, we have got some fabulous offers during August. I think the bonus days one is my favourite. Every time you spend £45 during August, you get a £4.50 gift card to spend on anything you like in September. Now what's great about September is that the Stampin' Up Christmas catalogue, our autumn winter catalogue, will launch right at the beginning of September. So if anything that you buy now will help save you money on your Christmas crafting. The other thing about August is that demonstrators get to pre-order from that autumn winter catalogue during August. So I, hopefully by the time you watch this, will have put my order in for my Christmas supplies. But it also means that if you join Stampin' Up during August, you will also be able to add autumn winter goodies to your starter kit. So and I will have put some catalogues in with that order, so if you want a catalogue sooner rather than later so you can pick out your starter kit, do just let me know, because you do want to start. You need a Stampin' Up starter kit. The benefits of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator are so massive that it's just the best deal. It's £99 starter kit. You then get at least 20% off all of your Stampin' Up purchases. For me, that's a great deal. Even if I don't mention the fabulous team, our fabulous events, Stampin' Up events. We have got a retreat in September. We have got exclusive Facebook groups. We have the incentive trip. We have got an exclusive magazine. There's just so much. Cannot put into words how much. There's just, yeah, heaps and heaps and heaps. there is a link on my blog. I keep talking about going to my blog. You need to click over to my blog. If you've never been onto my Stampin' by Hannah blog, you need to go over. It's fabulous. But there is loads of information over there about becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator and how it is just so flipping worth it. It's just the best. The best. Right, let's make this box before I waffle any more. Okay, so this is quite a slimline box because that's how our note cards and envelopes are going to sit in that way on. Okay, if I show you, they're going to sit in there that way. So let's put this together. So we've got a skinny edge down one side. We're going to take the little rectangle out of the bottom and I'm going to notch my sides in as I go along. So just like that, we're going to snip into that square, leave the rectangle as it is, and then we're going to snip the next square like so and notch out. And the reason we take those notches out is to make a beautiful finish at the bottom. If you leave the notches in, sometimes you can see bits stick out at funny angles. So that's the base. Then we've got our pocket. Now this is where things get a little bit complicated. We've got 4 squares here and 4 squares here. We only need this one. So these 3 are all going to go away, but we also need to snip up. So if I show you, we're going to snip there and then all the way across to there, like so. And then we can snip that one there off, like that. And then we're going to go all the way up again for that one. So we've just got that square turns into a flap. So if I show you that again, I'm going to snip from the side into the first cross score line. Then with the bottom one, we're going to cut all the way across. Come around, we're going to snip that square there off altogether, and then we're going to cut all the way up to that second score line there, and I'm going to tidy that up a little bit there. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some notches out again just to make sure that everything stays kind of tidy. So I'm going to take a notch out of that one there, and then I'm going to just notch the square a little bit. Notch out of that bit there at the very, very bottom flap. Notch out the square. And then that one on the side, like so. Hope that made sense. I know that this pocket is a little complicated, but I do think it is totally worth it. If you didn't want to make the tags, this box will fit. You just need to don't need to make the pocket. I think this is a really super versatile project that I am completely in love with. Right, let's just sort out this designer series paper as well while we're at it. So our box is only narrow, so we've actually got quite a bit of wasted paper here, but this was the easiest way I could think to do this. So we've got the top, 2 sides and 2 sides. So these 4 squares here become what am I saying? Tabs. So what we need to do is we need to chop up on the long sides. A longer bladed pair of scissors would be great for this, but as you guys know, I am left-handed and I find long bladed scissors really tricky. So we're going to do that to each one of these, and the reason we're doing it on the long side is because there just isn't enough room on the short one. Quite simply. So just take that notch out. So, and then on the other side we're going to chop up that score line and notch up this score line here to that first horizontal, and then take that notch out. So we're going to end up with that shape. Looks like something off of some kind of, reminds me, this is how my brain works. That says Star Trek or Star Wars to me. You know, one of those flying, yeah. Can you tell I've never seen Star Wars or Star Trek? But that's what that's the shape. Right, let's put this box together. So I've got my tear and tape today. And with the box base, we're going to put tape down this skinny side here, and then the back side of this flap here. So let's get and do that first. So tear and tape on this side of the flap like that, and then we need to turn it over and we're going to put it on there like so. Okay, and then where's my bone folder gone? Oh, there it is. My top tip for tear and tape, the same as red liner tape actually, if you're still using red liner tape, is to just burnish it with a bone folder and then take it off with your paper piercer, the carrier tape, because that way, one, I've got fake gel nails on at the moment and I can't grip, but also I just think it's just such an, when you've burnished it first, the carrier tape comes off much more easily. So like that. Then we're going to put to actually make the box, we're going to put the 2 tabs in, fold in the back, and then this one here, which is the front of our box, like so. So there is our box that fits our note cards and envelopes. Excuse me. Had a cup of coffee before I started filming and now I've got a tickly cough. So there's the base. Let's just put this lid together very quickly. So what we're going to do is this is going to fold round, these 2 pieces are going to fold round to make our lid that will look something like that. Okay, now that means that we need to put tape on each one of these flaps close to that score line. Okay, so let's just quickly, 4 pieces of tear and tape. You could also do this with cardstock. This is not the strongest designer series paper in the world. It's not flimsy, but it's not, I think if this was going to be packed in a box or sent or anything, if you're putting this in a box to send through the post, you might want to use a cardstock and then cover it in designer series paper, rather than just making it out of designer series paper, because it might get damaged, because you've only got these little bits here that are holding it all together. So until you've got it taped, of course. So like that. Right then, now this score line here is going to marry up with that cut edge. Okay, like so, and then the same on the other side. So this score line here matches up with there. This score line goes to there, and my designer series paper wasn't quite cut to the right measurements, because you can see now why we take notches, because that's what happens when you don't. Okay. Okay, so there is our lid onto our box base. Now what we need to do now is apply our fabulous pocket onto the front. So that's going to sit there to put our tags in. Okay, so the easiest way to do this, we're going to put a little bit of tape, a really tiny bit of tape on each one of these flaps. And this is where this gets a little fiddly. So I'm going to actually use a pair of scissors, which I don't normally use scissors for tear and tape, but it just means that I know I can get a smaller piece of tape, because you only need a little bit. You could use wet glue, or if you're feeling brave, you could use a tape runner as well, but I just think tear and tape is probably the easiest way to do it. And then we also need to put tear and tape on the outside flaps, so the very last ones. Like so. Oh, there. And I'm going to take my bone folder again. I'm just going to burnish, just make sure that kind of really push that tape into the cardstock. Then if we take off the little pieces, okay, and this is where you need to get things kind of square. So again, this score line here is going to line up with that cut edge, the same as we did for the box lid. My camera is not happy at all today. So this score line here is going to stick next to that cut edge there, just like that. Okay, then if we take off the bottom piece of tear, okay, so I've taken the tear and tape off the bottom, so that's now sticky. I'm going to push that down and attach that to there on both sides. Okay, so we've now got a little pocket. Then if we take the tear and tape off the side pieces, okay, and bring in our box again, and then this will then line up with, I'm going to just push that up. Okay, so I've taken the tape off of there and wiggled that up a little bit, making sure everything's nice and square, and then we're going to stick that straight down onto our box like so. Make sure we push all of that in with our fingers nicely, and then those will sit in there like that. Isn't that really sweet? And then all we need to do to finish our fabulous box is a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take the stamp again that I used on the inside that says enjoy your special day, like so, and some Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to be really, really brave because I've already done the die cutting, and we're going to stamp straight down, straight up. I was about to say, aren't you glad that's the right way around? But we could have turned the die cut around, couldn't we? Okay, and then that is going to sit on there like that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some snail, put some snail on the bottom half of that die cut and attach that on like so. Oh dear. Like so, she says. Like that. Okay, and that is my set of note cards and envelopes. Guys, I am so sorry if this video has been a bit all over the place. My camera is not happy today. I'm going to blame the heat. We are still in the middle of a heat wave as I film this, and I know I'm feeling it, so my camera might be feeling it as well. Thank you ever so much for joining me today here on a Friday. Do go over to my blog, check out those fabulous August offers, and I hope to see you again on Monday for another fabulous Make It Monday video. Like, comment and subscribe while you're here, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.